All right, so this video here, I just made the video about this, right? But now, how can we apply this to our drawing? So I'm gonna put this on the side, pull my drawing in here, and it lines up. Hold on a second, it's gotta, there we go, is that better? Okay, you might not be able to see my third point, but that's not a big deal. All right, so my drawing, there's a lot going on here, right? There's a lot of little intricate moments. It's not as large and as big as this object here, but I'm gonna select an area that I wanna cross contour. And I've already been thinking about it a little bit. I'm thinking about, I don't know if you can see it that well, but this is a, looks like a rooftop, kind of like a house, a long house, right? And it's also connected down here. So that's definitely an area that I'm going to cross contour. I already applied organic lines to some of these forms, so it's hard to go back and cross contour them. You can, but you have to have the geometry of the hard edges still there, and you have to find it again. So I might just leave those as is now. And I have an object here. It kind of looks like the letter S without the part that goes in this direction, which might not be a bad idea. You can add that on. I could cross contour that. And maybe there's a few things back here I can cross contour. There's enough. You know, try to apply cross contour to 3 or 4 things on your drawing and see where it goes. So first thing, I'm going to use a softer pencil just so you can kind of see what I'm doing. If you ever use a soft pencil by accident, need an eraser will lighten it up pretty easily. So the first thing I want you to do is clean out what you're going to work on. Just erase what's inside of it. I'm trying to see where the point is. I think it's down there. I think I have to erase that top part. So clean out the inside. Anything else that's going to compete or drive you insane. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this back in. What the heck? Oh, there it is. Okay. Looks like this should have been up there like that. All right. So you start off with a plane and you break it in half. Do I start off with the plane that's on a diagonal? I'm not going to do that, because if it's on a diagonal, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to run this line all the way up, right? And then you run this line all the way up. And where they meet, which is right here, that's somewhat of a vanishing point for anything on that plane, because this plane is not parallel to these 3 vanishing points. It creates a new vanishing point. How do you find the vanishing point? You just run the lines until they merge. There it is. And then you use that. But why do I have to do that when I also have this plane? I can find all the information from this plane. The other side of this plane goes to that vanishing point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross my corners on the long side of this plane here. And that finds my center, which is right here. I take my center to the 3rd vanishing point, and I just make a line straight up. Okay? So I'm going to use a soft pencil. I'm just using an H. Oh, you know what? Now that I am putting this on, I do have to find that vanishing point. So I did, which is good. And then I connect this line there. Does that make sense? So I'm going to cross my corners again. Actually, it's kind of nice that I have this hard pencil, because I can cross my corners with a light pencil, and then I can use my darker pencil. Put the line in. And then once it intersects this line here, I take it to the left vanishing point. Do it again here. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. I'm just going to play around with it. But I just want you to select a few of these know how to make a cross contour organic form, and see where it takes your drawing. This whole thing is based on process. Everything that I've done in my drawing is just the stages that I have set for you. There's some compositional decision making, like, you know, I like how the eye kind of works its way through. But I'm not too worried about that right now. All right, so since I already have my halfway points here, I'm going to connect this with the right vanishing point. Come on. Okay, and then I'm going to cross my corners again. Find my center, and do it again. Do it again. And when you're working this small, it's easy to get lost. So really focus and pay attention. Keep your pencil sharp. When I put a line in, I don't take my eye off of it. Wait a minute, what did I put that line in there for? I can't talk and chew gum at the same time, apparently. I meant to go that way. There you go. So I cross contoured the side of this barn, if you will, and I'll cross contour this guy here. So I need to find my center. Don't understand the muffler phenomenon. If you guys heard that car drive by. Okay, go here, cross my corners again, and I know this is painful to watch, but this is how you do it. Find my center. Another time. Once I do all this work here, it's easy to wrap the lines around. And notice I'm just picking any one of these rectangles to find the center, and then I can just take the center point and run it over to the side. There you go. So you can see how I cross contoured that. The nice thing about cross contour too is that it creates this kind of focal point on your drawings, almost similar to these stairs do. Like your eye is drawn towards there because there's a lot of activity. It's going to be a lot of line activity here, so it's going to create a point of emphasis, a focal point. All right, so now I'm going to take these lines and run it over to the left side here. See how easy this is now that I have all this done. And just run it across the other side. I found my center of this, the vertical center, way back. I'm going to throw that in there. It kind of was the vertical center. It doesn't look like it, does it? Whatever. And then cross my corners on the other one. I'm just going to, I'll just go with these three. Find my center here, and I'm going to just make another X here. X finds my center here. Run that northbound. Run that northbound. All right, so I wireframed the whole thing, right? Now what do I do? I'm going to start to round out. This is when you really want to sharpen your pencil. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to round off this side. The nice thing about this, remember in the last video I showed you, I said, oh, you should mark off all the lines going this way so you can be consistent. But there's so many lines here that I can just use them as a guide. do so well on that one. I'm going to round this one out. And I'm going to take out the hard edge part, so it's gone. You can kind of see how this is starting. Almost looks like the side of a ship, if you will. I do like how it still points. I might keep it in, I might not. But say I want to round this guy out. Because it's close to the horizon line, so I want to say this, and close to the horizon line, everything's kind of similar to the horizon line. The further you go away from the horizon line, the more dramatic of an angle you get. And the closer you get to the horizon line, the less dramatic of an angle you get. So when you start to round things out, not really that much of a difference, as you can see what I'm doing. But the more I go up, it changes a bit. So I could round that out. If I did want to round this other side out and make like a rounded crest at the top, I can still do that. You see this, basically I'd have to know the vanishing point I found there, here. I'd have to find the other vanishing point here. And if I were to continue this line all the way out, this is hard to find, just bear with me for a second. Let's just say it's like right here. Is that it? Interesting, because it would actually converge this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just fake this part and just say, hey, let's just say it's kind of similar to all of these. Close enough. And then I could just like round this out, round this out, round this out. And all I got to do is just, because it's so small, I can get away with it. Anything that's a little bigger, I couldn't. And then I'm going to run it down there. I didn't do the best job. I'm trying to be a little too fast with my video here, I think. So I'm going to perfect this. And this is why you don't use a super soft pencil in the beginning when you're still trying to figure stuff out. All right. Almost looks like a greenhouse now. Well, I like that. I actually like how it goes up and then back down. I dig that. I'm going to go with that. And underneath, I forgot to talk about that. And then I will end the video. But see these lines here? Because there is an underneath part. And I'm just where those lines intersect that corner, you run it over to the right side. Are you kidding me? See, we all make mental errors. The pressure. What? That line goes down to here, and you just. I hear the family, that's why I'm getting nervous here. So this could also be rounded too. Rounded, rounded, rounded. And why not round this one too? Okay. So I have, out of this drawing, like this is a little moment here where it's just wireframes, a little transparency happening as well. And your eye kind of gets drawn to that. So you might want to try to like balance out when you think of composition. Don't put all that on one side. It's going to be a little imbalanced. So I'll play around with this and I'll show you what this looks like when it's finished. The end.